And in most cases, you're interacting with someone who assumes that you are heterosexual. And they have conversations with you like you are a heterosexual woman. And you understand that most people identify as heterosexual, and they're going to talk about topics that relate to a heterosexual person. But sometimes they make you answer them. And what I mean by that is, have you ever had like a woman who thinks maybe some male celebrity is hot, you know, he's cute or whatever, or he's fine to her, and she's like talking about this male celebrity, and she's showing you pictures of him, and she'll say something like, doesn't he look good? And you really don't want to answer the question, but she's pressing you to answer the question. It's kind of like the way they talk. That's just their daily conversation. And you kind of have a dilemma because you don't know where this conversation is going to lead. Because if you do agree to her with saying, oh, sure, he looks good, he looks great, or he's cute, you don't know what the next question is going to be. But generally, the next question is, do you have a boyfriend? And now you are in a position where you can either tell the truth, or you can change the subject, or you can lie. And this is just the bare minimum kind of interactions we have on a daily basis as lesbian women. And we don't always want to out ourselves. We don't always want people to know everything about our lives. And it's not because we are ashamed of being lesbians. We just know that not everybody is ready to hear the truth. Not everybody is mature enough to have a conversation when it comes to sexual orientation. And sexual orientation, although everybody has their own sexual orientation, we live in a society that automatically defaults to thinking that everybody is heterosexual. So I wanted to pose a question to you ladies. When you're asked questions, heterosexual questions, do you actually tell them the truth about who you are as a lesbian or a same-sex attracted woman? Or do you just go along with the conversation and make it seem like you're heterosexual? Or do you change the subject? How do you handle those daily conversations with people? And this may not happen daily, like I'm saying, but in some cases it can, because you may be in an environment where you are constantly interacting with people. Maybe you are at work. Maybe you are at church. Maybe you're at school. Maybe you're in the neighborhood just talking to your neighbors. And then, of course, there's always the family conversations. Some of us are not out to our families. And some of us are out to only certain people in our family, but other people don't know. Do you think that it's appropriate to be very honest about your sexual orientation? Because let's keep it real. These conversations come up, and the holidays are very near. They're really right around the corner. And usually those heterosexual questions come up. And the heterosexual questions are, when are you going to get you a man? Where's your man at? I'm going to take you out to get you a man. Is there anybody that you like? What guy do you like? Who are you interested in? Who are you dating? Those are real questions that we get asked by people who we are related to, people who we have associations with, friendships with, we collaborate with as work colleagues, people in the church environment. You know, the church is a very common place where people try to hook you up with somebody. And I know this. I remember when I was going to the traditional churches. And what I mean by traditional church, these are not inclusive churches where they accept people who identify as lesbian, gay, bisexual, or LGBTQ+. They are, I pretty much call them heterosexual churches. And I remember many occasions where there were women in the church who were trying to hook me up with their son. There were women in the church who wanted to know when I was going to bring my man to church, assuming that I had a man. There were men in the church who were interested in dating me, and it was very uncomfortable. I remember even bringing my female partner to church, and people always thought we were just best friends, but we weren't. We were in a romantic relationship together.